Hello.
Hey, welcome, progressive Brown Countyites. Lucas over here, Brenda's over here. I'm David.
So this week, Pride Alive, 2017.
Green Bay Pride.
Yeah, 10th anniversary. I got a whole bunch of pictures and videos. Eventually get around to posting.
It was exciting. I mean, 10 years. I mean, when you think about it, Green Bay's not that big of a city, so it's kind of nice to realize that there's a whole queer community that you never.
Were the protesters only there for from 8 to 10 a.m. or something like that?
It was not long.
Yeah, because I noticed we got there at 3 in the afternoon, 0 protesters.
No.
I mean, there's usually only a 1 or 2, but there's always that asshole. There's always
protester?
that.
I didn't
Protesting
even
a
know
celebration?
that.
Every year,
For what?
there's always that one asshole, or 2 or 3.
No, there was probably 8.
With
When I got there.
religious
One year though, this guy
nonsense?
went outside and stood out there with his sign about the flying spaghetti monster with the religious dude, because religious freedom, whatever. If you can be here, so can I.
Okay, so the deal is, if you're a Christian and you really believe this nonsense, you're interested in people not being gay ostensibly because you want them to be saved. You're concerned for them, and you
Right.
think that they're living. But it just seems like people are angry, and I don't get that. What?
I don't want to detract from how good of a time we had
Oh,
at
sorry.
Pride Alive, but at the same time,
Yeah.
the protesters.
I just don't
It
understand.
was noticed by me that there was no protesters there the entire
Well,
time.
religious people come to Fish shows when I go see Fish play and protest that. What are you protesting?
Stop
Bible
having a good
It's weird.
time.
Well, I cannot down people who protest, but because I do it myself for what I believe in.
You're right.
Right. So, right, freedom of speech. But again, not to detract from how good of a time we had, though.
Yeah.
The drag shows were fabulous. They were fabulous. That's my favorite part always. Wonder Woman was fucking pretty spectacular. I have lots of really fabulous pictures of Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman
Wonder Woman.
was there.
Oh, this queen came out with this fabulous hair and this black, shorty, sexy trench coat with ruffly bottom.
Yeah, I wish
And
we
she
could
did
flash some pictures.
She
of
did her
her.
little thing. We're gonna be able to do that soon because we're
Yeah.
upgrading. So
We're working on
she did a couple of fancy little thingies, and then she came down, and then the music really started to take off, and poof, and she had full on Wonder Woman with the crown and everything, and then 2/3 of the way through the show, she busted out the fucking lasso, and it was fucking fabulous. I have a bunch of pictures.
That's
I will
great.
post them. They're fabulous. But the most endearing moment of my night was one of them came out and did So What by Pink. And there was all these kids there. And I mean, we're talking about a rainbow of children, and all between the ages of 4 and 7. Must have been about 20, 22 kids, and this woman, and they were all out there, fists in the air to Pink, So What, and it was a tear-jerking moment for me, because I was like, oh my god, this is the best part of the whole fucking day right here, for my own private little moment, best part of the fucking day. So that was fabulous, and I do have the video of the final finale where all those kids are out there dancing with all of them.
We are
Okay.
family.
Yeah, to We Are a Family. It was
Yeah,
very
they don't care.
and
They're
Right.
having a good time.
Right,
They
and-
just want a dance party.
right, but it was just like I said, it's kids of every color and every nationality, all these little ages. It made me think about the Jane Elliott thing, that if every 8-year-old in school was forced to, at least as part of the curriculum, to at least watch the Blue Eye, Brown Eye experiment, or watch it perform, make the teachers be in it and demonstrate it to the kids. We'd eradicate racism at 8 years old, it'll change them forever. I'm like, that needs to be like part of the curriculum. But anyway, Pride Alive was fabulous. We had a really good time. There was good food, good lemonade. And I was telling David about this at the food truck rally today. That remember the band? They were like singing the song. We were mostly just ignoring them because they were like background music, kind of like what rag band.
Yeah, like
Hipster rag band,
yeah.
swingabilly kind of music.
Yeah.
So it was kind of just an fade background. But then they stop, and he's like on the microphone going for some crowd participation, and that's when the lyrics of the song became apparent to us, and we couldn't stop laughing about the fact that the lyrics of the song were, what were they again now? Put on your aluminum hat.
Hey, you put on a tinfoil hat, get the government out of your hat.
That's it. It was fucking great. It was so great. So yeah, a lot of fun at Pride yesterday. Those were my two moments. So it's a good time. And we had a bunch of teenagers there with us too. It's nice to see the teenagers out there too. And there was a good crowd, really good crowd. Didn't see anybody haul. There's police presence there, very obvious police presence there. But I didn't see anybody. I did see one person who was a little too drunk to walk without help at 6 o'clock in the evening. He was too drunk to walk without assistance. But his significant other was assisting him just fucking fine.
Just one in the city of
Yeah, it
wasn't-
Green Bay. That's amazing.
Right. That is the only. I did not see any cops interaction or anybody being hauled out there
Probably there
drunk.
to
It was a
keep the
perfectly
peace more than
peaceful
anything.
event, and that makes it even more awesome.
And the Green Bay Police even had their own booth.
They had a booth.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see a booth.
Yep, they had a booth.
They had a booth. I didn't go
Yep.
nowhere near their fucking booth, nor would I.
But everything went well, so it was nice.
Yeah.
They did a good job with the organizing.
I think I shared on my personal page. I don't know if I shared it in the group though. So I will. You might be affected by that about the people that are going to be coming around from the Green Bay Police doing a survey.
Yeah,
Is that your
we're in my
neighborhood tomorrow morning? So when the
What's
cops
the
come
survey
knocking
about?
on your door at about 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning in that area,
I'll be wearing my finest Speedo and flip-flops.
right?
What
please
is the
apply.
survey about
I
anyway?
don't fucking know. They have an online survey. Lucas posted an article with a link to it about a week
Oh
back.
yeah, if they're doing a
Yeah.
good job.
Yeah, that kind of survey. So
Well,
good
people
for them.
work.
Good for them. But it's
Yeah,
up
I'll
to
be
you
able-
guys to take the survey and answer it honestly. So that's the only way that this stupid fucking survey can be effective is if people actually take the time to take it and they're.
I looked at it. I didn't fill it out. I was curious.
I
I
took
did
it.
not fill it out
I
either
was an
because I
asshole.
didn't know how to. I haven't had any
No way.
I
interaction
was an asshole.
No way.
with the police to make a determination.
Um, So we're still
I
working
haven't
on
for
the.
many years.
Lucas, you want to talk about your project and
Yes. I don't know how in detail we want to go.
I would just stick to,
but,
maybe we should, I mean, it's more, it seems amongst people we're asking it's common, but keep the name of it
Yeah.
out of it. Keep names out of it.
Yeah. The cannery on Broadway, which was brought in as a center point, kind of in that canning district. Their owners own one of the largest feeding operations in Kiwani, and
Cattle feeding.
yes, so they're not doing some good things to the environment. So
Yeah,
we're
this
definitely doing a little bit of research on there. I only want to speak facts because we don't need to be like negative and
right.
you
And
know,
that's a
being-
fact. That's public
being
knowledge,
nasty.
right?
But yeah, you definitely can Google it
So
and
they're
find
just
out all the
falling
information.
short on their regulations, or they're actually deliberately doing stuff illegally.
I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
But they are definitely one of the three major contributors to water issues. 60% of the wells in Kiwani are affected.
Sure.
affected by this massive manure runoff.
And this
Remember,
is
So
for
are they not this same farm not being sued by the city of Kiwani
there's some
currently?
legal things going on in the state.
Now,
The
here's
DNR is
my
involved.
take on this. Why I have such a big problem with this is that we were talking about this gentrification issue when we were
Right.
at your house today. This place is smack in the middle of this downtown restaurant district, okay? And the cannery is an on-Broadway project, which is funded by the city of Green Bay and private donors. Then the property was billed to suit, I believe. So this place came along and said, we are gonna create this restaurant. Now their whole business model is predicated on the fact that they're farm to table fresh.
right.
Hipster, hey, you're a hipster, you pay
But-
this money, you're doing good for the environment, but that's not the case.
They
it
might
would
just
seem.
be providing the meat for some of the dishes, and maybe the other stuff comes from a different farm. I don't know. I don't know anything about it.
The owner owns some meat farming,
Yeah.
and then also does the dairy
meat
Dairy.
farming.
Meat
sounds
farming.
horrendous.
Cattle and dairy farm.
I'm so
So-
glad I'm not
So he does.
participating in
So he
meat
does a
farming
cattle
at the
and a
moment.
dairy farm, and it's literally 5,000 cows that he milks.
Okay.
And when you're talking 5,000 cows, that's a lot of.
Kiwani is a
Manure.
very densely populated area of farms.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so what
tough.
do you do with that waste? There's no waste treatment center for a farm.
Right. I
You
get
know.
that there's a whole bunch of we need the farmers, but do they have to be these huge conglomerate mega farms? Because the mega farms are the things, this is one of the reasons why
Well,
you're a
I
vegetarian.
think some of the times that but I'm only part. It's a tiny thing that I'm doing, not eating meat, as far as the problem, because I love dairy products and I love cheese, and it's a huge
Me too, but the
problem.
environmental.
And I'm eating fish and seafood now for my protein. But if everybody ate fish and seafood, then we'd be overfishing, and so everything has issues unless you're a vegan, and that's an extremely difficult.
Okay,
That's not
but
gonna feed
But
the
if we were,
world
but
population.
if these were cows were these same cows were spread out over more farms in the area, which farming's supposed to be important.
I
down
think
to the bottom
Americans
line.
take everything and run off the goddamn end of the earth with it. If we could
Right,
just balance everything better,
Right.
eat meat
That's what I'm
once a
saying.
week, eat meat
the
enough
mega
to
farms,
sustain the amount of protein you need while eating nuts and other things, and just be more fucking reasonable
the
and
me- these
use resources
these huge
better.
mega farms though are a huge environmental problem.
Right. No, I agree. But I would suspect that there's a price. There's I don't think this guy is probably a millionaire. You know what I mean?
No,
Like-
farming isn't that profitable.
So
No,
I-
this guy's.
This is a
This guy's
problem that
loaded.
needs
You think
to
he's
find
loaded?
a solution.
Okay.
Right.
Well,
Yeah, he's on the dairy board. He's
Oh yeah,
he's
right.
on
Okay.
the school board in Kiwani. I mean, he's.
Yeah, I really
There's-
think that they're
there's
just
some major issues.
they're targeting this
well, I don't know.
hipster.
There's members of the House that only have a couple $100,000 of wealth. I mean, so I don't know. You can be, active and on all those things without really being a millionaire. But I don't know. I think there's a reason that farms get so conglomerated. But I don't know. Is it? I like capitalism. What do we say? You can only have so many cows.
I
What's-
think they
Well,
need
how
to find
about-
a way to
it's-
take care
okay,
of the
How about a
Here's
pollution.
one
per
thing,
acre.
separately from the
Okay.
from the restaurant, separately, he needs to figure out what he needs to do about his cows to be more environmentally friendly. One, but the secondary, the other issue with the restaurant
And so if he
thing,
can't get enough cows on his land to make it profitable to sell meat at his store, then he should just not be in the business of providing his own meat, right? I mean, that's what we're saying.
No,
That would
well,
be
what-
the effect of that.
The effect is
Because he
like,
only has so much land.
right?
the farms could kill people.
Mm-hmm.
They're literally spreading manure water over fields
Yeah,
because
I
they
get
have
that,
to get rid
and
of
I
it.
agree with
And
that.
they're-
I'm just saying, you say so many cows per acre, and I'm just following that to its
Mhm.
logical conclusion, and just saying,
He
This
owns
is-
multiple farms. I mean, that's not the. I mean,
I think it's shady business to do that and to be non-compliant
Okay,
with
so then-
regulations,
so
and then build a
So
business
there
that's
may be breaking
predicated
some
on a whole
laws.
business model of environmentally friendly fucking
Sure.
food.
So so you say so many cows per acre, and then he doesn't have enough at this farm, and he is successful enough that he can buy another farm and have two if he needs more land. So we'll say that is what could potentially be
Yeah, he needs.
why. Because I'm trying to find, we can't have. There's no way that laws that put people out of business will ever be favorable
This is true.
to anybody.
This
So I'm
is
just
true.
trying to be practical and saying what might be the actual consequence of something like that. I would love,
he just needs to not.
I'd like
Put
meat
shea
to
water
be.
in the
I would
wells.
like meat to be grown in a fucking lab and just be all done with the ethical problems
Just
and
go
the
carve
environmental
out a
problems.
piece when you want it.
No, they can do it
Yeah.
now.
Go into
and
the
it's
steak
just-
section.
Yeah, I'm not even kidding.
Just kidding.
That is
yeah,
coming.
so
That is
it's
eventually
coming?
how we're gonna eat. Yeah.
All right,
Well,
I
it's-
like that.
It's already here. It's just very expensive at the moment. But they are growing meat in labs. Yes, at the moment.
I would
Wow.
have to investigate.
Straight
That
up
sounds so
How he
sci-fi.
can-
I just don't even know
That
what
is
to say.
definitely how we're gonna eat.
Like
in
I
the
believe,
future.
I believe that
There's no
any
doubt.
kind of robots for everything exist. But then when you're like we're growing meat in the thing, I'm just like,
Okay, it won't even be a thing. I won't even think about it.
Well,
Once,
hi,
maybe a couple
Farm.
times a year, you might
You
have
totally
actual
have to
meat,
get
and it'll
off
be
the
like a
table,
rare thing.
you have
But
to get off the table.
You won't even
Farm.
be able to tell the difference. They'll get real good at that kind of stuff.
This last week, I've seen a lot of posts from people I know and friends of friends and articles online. So if it's becoming so prevalent, it must really, there must be something to this story about the fentanyl cocaine.
Well,
And
fentanyl is just blowing up. It's coming from China, and it's a huge deal. They're not regulating. China's not regulating at all, and their pharmaceutical industry is making all kinds of money off of the illegal fentanyl trade here in the United States. So it's a huge deal everywhere. So it does. These stories that we're hearing don't surprise me.
okay,
in the
so
least.
one of the things I was reading up about, and a lot of the comments in there of all about the same thing is this is such a lethal combination of drugs. Like, you wouldn't mix it with cocaine unless you were trying to kill somebody.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a drug that's so powerful. I wouldn't take it unless I made it.
I wouldn't take it.
Like if
even
I had
don't even-
manufactured it,
I still
I knew
wouldn't
for
take it.
sure how potent it was.
Yeah.
Isn't that what they prescribe for extreme pain in cancer
Yeah,
patients,
Rachel
like
had-
fentanyl patches
had-
and stuff?
She had a fentanyl patch.
Okay.
She was
Yeah.
done with surgery.
So, yeah, shouldn't that be just administered through the hospitals then?
You would think that, but no. Apparently,
your problem
you can
is
get
people
a
are-
whole.
People are,
So the
They're
research
able to
I did on it.
manufacture it
The
on their own.
research I
Is
did
that
on
the
this,
thing?
I found that they have tested people who had fentanyl overdoses for oxycodones that they got at the hospital that had fentanyl in it, like a 3% fentanyl.
Wow.
That was still enough for somebody to fucking be heavily fucking adverse.
Yeah, the thing about things like this is it's really a this genie is out of the bottle.
Well, here's the thing
how
is-
are you gonna?
well, you've got
Too
It
many chemical
led me to a
engineers that
question.
Right.
It led me to this question.
information
Since it's
that's easier and
becoming,
easier
since
to
it's
find.
become so popular that I'm seeing it showing up in all personal friend feeds, that must mean it's being doing on a mass scale. Why would anybody, if I was a drug dealer, it is not conducive to my fucking enterprise to kill off my fucking users. See what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Why is there fentanyl and cocaine? Like, why is that happening? Why would anybody put? That's the question. Why would anybody put it in there? Why?
Because people that deal cocaine might not be the smartest people. And maybe they
Yeah,
wanted to
maybe
make
that.
their stuff just have a little more kick, you know, have a little bit of a reputation.
Yeah, I think I've heard
Think of that
I've heard
theory.
references that during like the crack cocaine epidemic back in like the 80s and 90s that they were you know, like the junkies, like they hear about a kind of cocaine, a brand, so to speak, that people are like overdosing on, and their thought in their head is,
So that
oh, it must be some good
good.
shit.
Yep.
And they like
Yeah.
find it to take it and do or don't overdose, die on it.
Do you think that people are putting it in to be malicious? Is that what you feel? People that maybe not necessarily
Okay.
the people
think
that
you
are
have
dealing
people-
it out,
You
but
have people
somebody.
that are adding it
It's too
to make
expensive.
it better. You
Yeah.
have people that are adding fentanyl or even derivatives of fentanyl, because what they're doing is they're changing the chemical
Can
makeup a
of
little bit.
fentanyl, which is 1,000 times
Yep,
more
they're
potent
changing
than
the-
morphine.
They're changing a bond or a molecule in there, and actually, making them more potent. They found ways to make the chemical structure different so that it's not considered illegal.
This is true.
So then you're having people that are novices being chemical engineers and making drugs and then selling it when it's not tested themselves.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
That's
They're
where it
testing
comes
it out
from.
on their general
Yeah.
population.
Listen, kids, stick to marijuana and LSD, but only if it's legal in your state.
Right. And if it's not legal in your
Let's
state,
see
in the
legal.
states where it is legal, they have these things called 420 Airbnbs. I suggest you check those out. So I, again, this is and I'm trying really hard to not like come across as like weird political conspiracy theorists, but what's the most useless part of our population right now?
Hipsters.
Congress.
The fucking, no, think about it for a second.
That was
Ever
a
since
wide
the
range.
ACA went into effect,
Death panels.
what is the most draining fucking thing going on in that system right now? The ACA gave people who needed rehabilitate drug addiction therapy access to it, covered under fucking state fucking Medicare. So, what's the most
This is
useless?
an argument I
group of
argue with
people
people
have
online all the time
lab-grown
about
meat.
alcoholism,
Something about it.
addiction,
And you
drug
can't
being
get
a
the people
disease
clean.
versus
The
being poor
recidivism
choices.
rate of addiction addicts is so high. I hate to say this, but if I was running shit, I would fucking just kill them off.
That's what I wanted to know. If you think that it's more of a conspiracy,
I'm trying to
that
come
this is
off
coming
not
in.
as from the conspiracy side of it, but
I don't-
we know
I
what
don't
the
think it's
CIA did with crack cocaine
Yeah,
in the
that's true.
70s and 80s.
Yeah, but
we know what
there's
they
so
did.
much cheaper things you could use to be malicious than fentanyl. It just doesn't
No,
make any
because
Yeah.
see, these are but they
But
these
someone's
can
trying to
all be
make it-
innocuously
Didn't
passed
work,
off
so
as
let's try this.
right.
I don't think so.
No,
That's a
Conceal and
little
carry
too
didn't get rid of the
conspiracy
people, so.
driven for me.
just saying.
I mean, there could be lack of enforcement for that reason.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. But there was that. Someone told me once that the government used to spray marijuana fields with Pequot. Know
What's
about this?
Pequot?
I don't know. It's something and it
She's
like
sleeping?
tastes bad and it gives you a headache and you don't get high. Supposedly from marijuana that's been sprayed with this. So they spray all these fields when they found them and yeah, Pequot.
Okay, well then so now you say it's so conspiracy theorist of me, but there is a fucking legit story fucking out of Ohio about a sheriff there who refuses to allow his officers to carry Narcan to save people from an
Yeah,
opioid
that's
overdose.
nonsense.
So
Okay, but and what about
That's
the
just being
other
a
place?
crappy
What about
person.
the other place? What was it, like St. Louis or something? I'll have to look. But there was another story about a week before this one broke saying about after 3 times they went out and since a person overdosing, they would not go out anymore. So after the 3rd time, they're going to let you die. So, I mean, we have real people in not even a position of power as powerful as mayor making decisions in communities across the country that we would rather let these people die. Now, does it sound so conspiracy theorist now?
No, and you know, when I'm on the boards online and stuff, the majority of people are like, yeah.
Oh, I
they
hate
deserve that.
I have
Yeah, no, I'm not
I
against,
hate addiction.
I'm not against the theory. I'm just saying if they were gonna try to kill a bunch of people through the coke, they wouldn't use fentanyl. It's too expensive. They'd use something else.
Rat poison.
strychnine
Yeah, but
or
there's plenty of other-
arsenic.
Yeah, but the fentanyl's
Something
like
that's not as
guaranteed
expensive.
body count though.
Then again, I don't know the going rates
How
for
expensive is
arsenic.
fentanyl?
I don't know how much
Yeah, I-
arsenic costs.
Google that. How expensive is fentanyl?
Yeah, let's do a
So-
cost point power
Yeah, well,
presentation.
Street price, wholesale.
Beyond that, this week the Wisconsin Democrats introduced the badge care for all in Wisconsin.
Yay!
Yay.
We're not in
That is
control.
I'm not.
positive.
Hey, Democrats. I still have no love for you anymore.
We don't have any control
Right.
of the legislature, but
Right.
it's still cool.
It's
Right.
Yeah.
it's
gonna go
done
real
in a
far.
good spirit, but I don't think it's gonna take off just yet.
Yeah,
But get it out there
But
anyway,
yeah.
I guess.
Well, basically, what they're trying to do
It's
is
ripe.
add.
we're ripe for it.
They're
Spread
trying
the
At least
to
the
add.
conversation's happening now.
So basically, what they're trying to do is add Badger Care to the federal marketplace. For-
Yeah, so you still have to
so
pay
that you
in,
would have to pay in
but that's
to get
because
it.
we're losing
Oh.
so many people
Right.
Right.
in the marketplace that they need to come up with some more options.
Well, there's so
So-
much, and it's not that the marketplace is failing. It's that with Trump in power, there's no
There-
No,
there's no
that's not true.
there's no
I posted an
comment.
article in the group about this.
hold on. There's no the insurance companies are nervous.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
And they're like,
Mhm.
that's why they're pulling out of the marketplaces because they don't know what's going to happen, and they just
Okay,
need
but
to
they're not
get out.
supposed to be able to fucking pull out of these marketplaces. That's what's fucky about all of this.
Mhm.
Like Humana and Aetna being the real culprit, the vicious one here. They fucking backed out because they won. The federal government stepped in and prevented
let
a
'em.
fucking merger.
Mhm.
And because they backed out of the fucking now, and then other ones are like, oh wait, we can back out of this? That was like never supposed to be part of the fucking ever. So it's the private fucking insurance fucking agencies that are killing the fucking marketplace, not the money being paid into Obamacare or the ACA, not anything else
They
other
just
than
don't
that.
want to deal with
It just goes to show we need to get fucking rid of privatized fucking care. We need to get rid of the private
insurance
capitalism, I
industry
know.
is a racket.
I know.
It is a criminal organization with
Fucking
skins off
mafia.
of a captive
Right, they had
participant base that can't
forced,
choose to not have health care. So
Right. Right?
they're parasites on our fucking system, and it enrages me to think that we just let this go on and let these insurance companies straight up write legislation through think tanks, and it infuriates me.
Yeah, I hate the insurance companies.
Sorry if you're listening, Dad.
And
My father's in insurance.
and my favorite story
Health
of
insurance.
the week. We didn't get to the G20 protest. So
Oh, there is one thing I want to talk about. Actually, let's talk about Chris Christie for a second.
ooh.
Oh.
Did you see
I hope you guys.
Everybody's
I hope you
like,
guys-
oh man.
Is this TMZ stuff, or
What?
is because he said it was TMZ stuff? He
the
said.
beach thing
Yeah.
photos? No,
Okay. I just wanted
not
to make sure.
TMZ.
Okay, just wanted to make sure that it was something you guys felt was
It's
worth
like,
talking
it's like
about.
legit.
That's straight
So,
legit.
But the thing is he didn't do anything wrong, technically.
Mm-mm.
No, he was
It's just
on
an
the
act.
property
What?
of the mayor's house or
Just
the
a
governor's
slap
mansion.
in the fucking face. His popularity is like
Because
17%.
that beach is part of the governor's mansion. It's private fucking beach. technically.
So now even Republicans, like the lieutenant governor, are saying, should the governor even have like this private mansion on the beach? Like, let's start putting it up for lease to the public.
Yeah.
His
That's
excuse
actually
was
not a bad
just
idea.
what was the most hilarious
He's
part.
such a dipshit.
Hey, go get your dog.
Is this guy has had one too many like
Hey,
comical.
if you want use of a private mansion like me, you should run for governor. That's literally what he said. Literally what he said.
He's just a clown.
Chris
He
Christie.
didn't get any sun.
No,
He
he's
had
gonna
to
run.
have
He's
some.
gonna fucking
From
run for president again.
crying out
Chris
loud.
Christie.
He had
He's
a
gonna run
fucking
for
hat on.
president.
He's
Okay?
not running for anything, not even a donut.
God. You can't resist when you talk about Chris Christie.
Yeah. He's like
This
the,
guy-
Cannot resist.
he's like Al Capone's retarded little brother. he's super fucking like greasy, but at the same time he doesn't get away with shit.
Oh man,
He doesn't get away with shit.
that
Because
guy.
he gets caught all the fucking time, and then he gets
He
blasted
can't
for
get
it.
a break.
He cannot catch it. Not that he deserves one.
No.
I mean,
but
that
I'm
was
just
pretty
saying.
shitty. As the governor, he shuts down all the beaches on 4th of July weekend.
Yeah,
And then
so,
him and his family go to the governor's mansions, which just happens to be on the beach. And they get to be there on an empty beach with nobody else for
sounds
4th of
awesome,
July
though,
weekend.
doesn't it? Perfect. So yeah, it's disgusting. It's a slap in the face
That is a
to
complete abuse of
the
power.
people in New Jersey.
That is a slap in the face. Oh, I'm better than you.
I hope
because
some
I'm the governor.
conservatives that voted for Chris Christie traditionally spend their holiday at that beach and were totally bummed out and inconvenienced by this selfish prick.
Well, okay, we'll go with the next point there. Selfish prick. The G20 summit with the Donald.
Yeah, so what about those handshakes and
I-
everything else the media wants to talk about?
The media ain't talking about the Melania thing, really, so that's kind of fucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like all of the Germany's chance with her husband.
Angela Merkel?
Yeah, her man. So
Still
like
her, right?
so the significant other hosts the significant others of the other leaders of the country on like a field trip is tradition. So he was like, I'm gonna take them to the climate research center here because they're on the cutting edge of like climate research.
Mm-hmm.
And so all of the other leaders' wives and husbands are expected to go to this thing, right? And they all go, apparently. But not Melania and Ivanka. Ivanka, who with no experience, is sitting in on the fucking G Summit.
God.
And next to Angela Merkel. And then, but Melania couldn't get clearance because of the protesters to get out of the building.
No.
So she didn't have to go.
I see.
It's unfortunate.
Well.
But in his face, at least if he if he didn't see the climate research, his significant other daughter would. But nope, they weren't planning on
They
Ivanka.
wouldn't have
sit-
listened anyway.
Right?
so it
Yeah.
doesn't
It's.
matter.
I was like, oh my goodness, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, so the analysis that I read, a couple of news outlets just said that it is clear from this summit basically that America is no longer the leader of the free world. Like, they weren't treating him like typical American presidents. Like, they got to be making jokes about him.
He's a joke.
So embarrassing.
Yes.
It's time to move on from the Russian hacking, he says now. I don't know. I'm so sick of fucking talking about Russia. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Russians are coming. The Russians are coming. They're coming for your children.
What do you think that him and Putin talked about? What do you think Trump and Putin talked about?
The size of their cocks.
I was gonna say
The
he's
most
gonna
daring
take it
things
next.
they've
I
ever
don't-
done.
You don't
I
have to
once
wonder.
ran a steam engine.
You don't have to wonder because apparently Trump tweeted about it already. I haven't seen the
Oh,
tweets, but
really?
I heard that he already tweeted about it.
Yeah, but you know, he's just being.
I know he's full of shit.
I once shot an apple off a lady's head from 400 miles.
Well, okay, so
That's
yeah.
what they did. They just.
They
So-
probably just took their shirts off.
But you know what, Donald Trump? Donald Trump wears some pretty nice ties. That's the best.
The
The
red
best I got.
Well, at least they cover his knees. So
That's the best I got.
He's quite the tweeter.
Huh?
All
He
kinds.
is-
That's two.
that is a dangerous outlet for him. But I think it's good because it
Thanks
shows
to Trump,
people.
Saturday Night Live is funny again.
Like, to Trump,
Yes.
Saturday Night Live is funny again.
yeah, I think that I think he thinks he's that he's. I don't think he's as straight up naive as to think he's going to tweet these things and it's not going to be controversial. I think he thinks he's being clever and
He's a
diverting
TV
attention.
reality show
and playing.
fucking
Yeah,
celebrity.
he thinks
I think
it's all
he's a-
part of the. Yeah.
It's all
okay.
part of the schlick.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
part of the persona, the
Yeah.
President Trump persona.
Right.
Yeah, there's
Right.
that which he feels, and then there's like
You're
people
looking-
that
He
are
looks like a
offended.
fucking buffoon in every picture, shaking hands with Ro. He looks like an idiot. He looks awkward and like he doesn't know how to act. He doesn't know how to hold his self. He's not confident. He's not. I don't know. This is I fucking hate this guy. All right, tag.
David
Tag it out.
I wanted to talk about the Nevada dispensaries. Who just recently the state of Nevada legalized recreational marijuana, and the dispensaries there are already running out of product and cannot deliver on neither their recreational or medical obligations
not.
in the
It's
sales
Nevada.
market there.
We know that
Um,
market was gonna blow.
So
up.
here's the reason why. The reason why is because the state of Nevada, the liquor distributors lobbied for and got exclusive rights for the first 18 months of distribution to be the licensed distributors for transport and delivery of
So
the
they
marijuana.
take it from production to
The store.
Yeah.
Has to be a liquor distributor that holds a license that allows them to also transport the marijuana and edibles.
I'm jumping in.
Hi.
Bill?
Hi, Bill.
Hello, viewers. Maybe.
So
The one.
that is why there are numerous, I guess like 6 or 7 new companies have put in paperwork, but their facilities are not ready to go. A week ago, there was a issue where they were like, somebody was supposed to be getting their place looked at to be licensed, and they had to call and be like, we are not ready yet. Don't come and like not do the inspection. Because if you do the inspection and not pass, it's worse than canceling the mission.
So what's the point of having the distributors? I don't get it.
I don't know. This, like I said, obviously the liquor distributors obviously had to lobby Nevada representatives
Well, yeah,
to get an
because that's
exclusivity
going to be
contract.
competition against, taverns and bars. It's kind of like the tavern league here, would never let marijuana be legal if they had their way because it'd be easier for people just to stay home and get stoned than to actually go out and spend money.
Do you know anything about the Tavern League? They're actually like giant bullies
Yeah, I know.
in Wisconsin.
That's why I said
they're
that's
extremely powerful and they really bully bars that aren't members of the Tavern League. And
I don't know if there's 25 up there. There might only be 20.
Mentality, yeah.
Oh, it's Scott.
Can you make it with just 20?
You got like 3 single
There you
So
go.
we can take the 3 singles.
Oh,
So I thought that was kind of silly that
sorry.
Nevada's running on, but it's testament to how many people they did not know
Raining.
were gonna buy weed.
I have a sweater.
Really?
Just
I'll
like
be going hard for
people showing up in
So
ridiculous numbers buying all the weed.
I would
Get her out on the meeting tomorrow, Kate.
maybe.
Okay, I need you to stay till we're done.
Oh yeah.
So
Wear it over the
yeah,
sweater.
Bill, you got anything you want to add?
No, not really. Just kind of expanding on. I already commented on last week's video about the online police survey.
Are we
and they
coming to
going-
your house tomorrow
Yeah.
for the survey?
The house where my partner and I live is in that targeted area where they're going to be coming around door to door, supposedly in plain clothes, but with identification,
Mm-hmm.
giving people this community survey. And yeah, I already posted ours online, or at least mine. And basically, I just said something to the effect of like, please lead by example, especially when you're driving around. Like basically, if you're expecting us to follow traffic laws, maybe the
You're
police
setting a
should
really good, yeah. The
use their
cops
blinkers.
are terrible, yeah.
Maybe the police should come to a complete stop unless
We
they
could all
actually,
start a
you know.
fundraiser to get them some blinker juice. It's like,
Put the blinker juice inside the donuts.
right. They'll start a GoFundMe for blinker juice. You know how much money we would make if we did that?
I think there actually used to be a website years ago, like Bad Cop No Donut, where like people could like send in video clips of like,
Cops doing bad things.
yeah, like just.
Well, now that's called the
Now
internet.
it's called
Yeah.
Facebook Live
Yeah.
with police murder.
Now it's
yeah.
about murder
Right.
and not just
Yeah.
failing
It was
to.
one thing when you see a
yield
cop
at a
just be a
turn.
fucking dick, but now you see cops just kill with impunity.
Yeah, fabricate evidence and yeah, or
Did
video.
you see the video I posted of the cop planting the fucking drugs in the fucking guy's store?
And there was another one where like they were on with their body cameras
Uh,
and they were basically sitting there like discussing like how they were going to frame this guy that they were like.
There's no shortage of these videos anymore. I don't know why this is an issue that does not get resolved.
they're
Because
trying.
there's no accountability.
I see a lot of groups out there that are working with the police, especially in like high racially contentious areas of the country, high homeless populations. There's a lot of people that are trying to like be the mediator in between.
Yeah, and that's some good positivity, I
Right.
guess, that there are people doing that.
Yeah, like I have a Facebook friend by the name of Vaughn Mays. He's an activist down in Milwaukee. So about 3 years ago, he started a program in the Sherman Park neighborhood where the riots were last summer.
Okay.
Called Program the Parks, where he helps out these youth in the neighborhoods. Pretty bad area. And when the riots happened, the police came in, shut down all the parks. But I mean, they've been feeding homeless kids, clothing homeless kids, doing back to school fundraisers. They're really like getting a lot accomplished nowadays. They're doing, movies in the park on inflatable screens and all that. They're really doing some shit now. It's taken, about 3.5 years to get this far, but but throughout all of this, my point is the cops just did not want to fucking work with him, you know what I mean? He had to swallow his pride and swallow fucking, all the time fucking, and still these, I've seen him himself and other people from his group at that park with the kids while they were doing this work and the cops disrespecting them. Just shitty fucking people sometimes. Some of the shittiest people are fucking cops, man.
Well, you can't
Not
teach
that all the
empathy.
cops are shitty, but some of the shittiest people ever are just happen to be cops. It's fucked up. So, and then we'll talk about the fact that we have a YouTube channel now.
Mhm.
What's it called? Progressive Brown County.
Mhm.
Same name.
Yeah, I just went to YouTube and searched for it, found it right away.
Yeah.
It's going to be up, and we've got some computer programs that we can hopefully put together and make our productions a little more.
We're not going to try too
Professional.
hard, people.
But
we're not.
you know, we'll be able to do a couple little things and
Oh, but yeah,
live stream it.
yeah. And we want to be able to live stream in like on, like interviews and video from locations and stuff.
Or even
Get
if
out
we're
on the street
Yep.
a little,
Yeah.
which would
Rolling
be
on the
great.
street. I still say I want to interview the guy with the cross on the other side of
I
town.
haven't seen him. in a
Rashinda
while.
said she tried to interview him and she got to one question in and she was like bad shit crazy.
I haven't seen him.
Yeah, I haven't seen him.
I haven't
lately.
seen him in a
I was
while.
surprised that
I go
seen him.
every day and I haven't seen him. So
So on that note, and as always, most of the people here already do, but go check out my friend Aaron's store, 1311 Velp Avenue. Smart Shoppers. Local business, woman-owned business. It's like Big Lots on a smaller scale.
so
awesome.
what is it?
It's a little store over on Velp Avenue, and they just like I said, like Big Lots on a smaller scale. So I buy like all my toilet paper there, laundry detergent, most of my cleaning supplies, stuff for the baby, all of our toothpaste, all of our health and beauty stuff, shampoos, conditioners, facial products, body wash and stuff are all 40-50% what they are at a brand new store at somewhere else.
It was always like a combination of like furniture and small appliances and yard tools and things
But
like
it
that.
has all the typical stuff, like it's set up, and they just moved and like got a little bit bigger and like are a little bit more set up now. And I haven't been in the store yet, but like they have a little bit of everything that you need. Like what I do is I shop there. Like if I'm going like a monthly list of stuff I need to get or stocking up, I will go there and buy most of the things on my list, and then only go to like Woodman's or something for the things they didn't have. Also, great option is if there's an app, they have an app. So if you use the app on Facebook, you can actually buy things, because like if you like their page, she'll post stuff. They have an item of the day every day and shit. She also has little extra room in the back, and she's been allowing other small businesses from the area to come in, like La LaRue, Paparazzi. But recently she took it up a notch, and they had Kelly Services in there. So, come in, get a new job, make your paycheck last a little longer, all in one place type thing. So she had like a one-day job fair for Kelly Services to come in for people, if you're looking for a job, and they were doing on-the-spot interviews.
Yeah, and I have to say they seem like genuinely nice.
Yeah.
My first visit there was just this past Friday, and I work at a supportive care home, and the clients wanted to check it out. So
Right on.
we showed up like 15 minutes before they were going to close, but they were still very like, hey, take all the time you want, like look around,
They're super nice. And they have a little coffee bar in the back. So if you'd like a cup of coffee while you're there, you can totally have one for free.
I missed that. I'll have to go back for some.
They totally have a little
I'll have to
coffee
check it
bar.
out. You said it's on Velp?
Yep, it's on Velp. You can find them. I'll share a link for them in my Smart Shoppers. Scott is going to put a link in our conversation here. Yeah, on Facebook. Yeah, so but definitely go check them out if you don't already shop there. If you don't already shop there, you live in Green Bay, go check out this store. You'll save a ton of money. Oh, the other feature I wanted to tell you about was that you can buy things online. Like if there's something you need, you can be like, hey, do you have any of this? She'll be like, oh yeah, how many do you need? Oh, I need 3 tubes of that kind of toothpaste. Can you put them aside for me and I'll come in and get them on Friday. So, and you can pay right over the Facebook via PayPal.
Nice.
Come in and pick them up at your leisure. So, or maybe Saturday is pickup day. I know
That is fancy.
right, they're closed one day a week, which I think is Tuesdays.
Yep.
So,
To check it out.
right, it's a fantastic little store, and she has her daughters working in there, so they're learning how to do all of it. I mean, it's like POS, credit card on the cell phone. I mean, but it's a woman-owned business and a local business. So all of that money is going to actually keep a roof over, their family's head type thing. Not to some big corporation. You're still getting all of the fucking name brand shit that you fucking would buy anyway. And you're saving a bunch of money while you're fucking doing it. So yeah, for sure. And on that note, I think we're gonna sign off. Oh, we look at just about at the hour mark too. So, and the food truck rally. I went to the food truck rally today.
In Kohler.
Yes, in Kohler. And I shall have to put a picture of what I had to eat. I had a donut ice cream sandwich. Mississippi mud donut cut in half with chocolate ice cream in the middle. Put in the middle, top going on, chocolate frosting, Cool Whip, chocolate syrup, and fucking chocolate chips. It was
Blood sugar's
chocolate
going up this
fucking
area.
Now I'm
overload.
hungry.
Yeah. It was chocolate fucking overload, but it was so good. Yeah, it was like $7. It was good. I was hoping for fried Twinkies or something when I went, but fried Snickers bars. But no, that's not the fad anymore. So nobody's doing it. It's stupid bubble tea though. Who really likes bubble tea? Is anybody?
I love bubble tea.
I don't even-
Yeah. On that note, bye. Keep progressing.